Hello. Welcome to this new video. Today we're going to be talking about DHCP and an aspect of DHCP that is not that known by most people. Every time that I talk to people and I ask them, do IP addresses in DHCP change? And they say, yes, of course it does, because even the name implies it is dynamic host configuration protocol. But in reality, that's not the case. In reality, DHCP tries to be as efficient and effective as it can be, which requires it to, whenever is possible, assign the same IP address to the same client that has been assigned to before. So that way, it's going to conserve time, it's going to work faster, and it's going to be more efficient. So let's go over the basic DHCP capture that I have here on my network, and then I'm going to demonstrate this with live host. As you can see here, we have this packet capture, and the source is 0000 because this device does not have an IP address yet and is sending a request to everybody in the network. So let's open up that packet, and we're gonna see here once we open it that this is a DHCP discovery, as you can see here in the information. So the host that is sending this packet, if I scroll down, that host has a MAC address. So let me come down here, and this is the host that sent this request, this, the host attached to this MAC address. Obviously, once we get that discovery, the DHCP server in the network, as you can see here, is going to reply back to that specific host. But in this case, it's going to assign that IP address to the host. So as you can see here, this is let me bring this right here, dynamic host configuration protocol. It's going to be a boot reply. It's going to be a unicast, and it's going to your client IP address. It's going to assign the IP address that it knows to use from the DHCP scope, and it knows that that IP address is available, and that IP address is going to be assigned to the device that sent that discovery request previously. So far, so good. We know that. We know that every time that a host is booting up for the first time or after X amount of time, the system is gonna send a DHCP discovery to look or ask the DHCP server for an IP address. We know that and we're good with it. The other aspect of it is that once that device obtains that IP address, the next time the device is booting up and that IP address is available, that same IP address is going to be assigned to that same host because the HCP wants to be more efficient. So let me bring up the packet capture here one more time. And in this case, do, 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 I did no. Let me bring this. Let me bring the computer. So what I'm gonna do now? Let me start a new capture, and I'm gonna say continue without saving, and I'm gonna bring my computer. Oh, this is not what I wanted to show. I'm gonna bring my other computer in here. So the IP address of this computer is 192.168.170.11. If I do an IP config renew to obtain a new IP address list, I am not going to, or the system is not going to obtain a different IP address because DHCP protocol knows that 192.168.170.11 was assigned to that MAC address that it is sending the request one more time. So it is going to send that same IP address. So let me bring Wiresharking here one more time. And let me show this right here. So I have the packet and let me come down to DHCP. And I see that in this case, I am not sending a discovery, or the system is not sending a discovery on the network, is sending a request on the network. It's not sending a discovery, hey, who is DHCP? Can you please give me an IP address? It is saying, hey, I am such and such, and I want this IP address, right? And that's what's happening in there. Now, this is going to be successful, obviously, because that IP address is still available. Now, let me show you what happens when I reboot the computer and the computer comes back online. Is it going to send a DHCP discovery, or is it going to send a DHCP request asking for the same IP address? Let's see that right now in action. So I'm going to come over to this computer and I'm going to restart, and we're going to monitor everything that is happening here because I'm still running the DHCP filter in the live capture. Okay, let's look at what we have here. These are the new packets that were created or captured when the system restarted. And as you can see here, we have a DHCP discovery. So let's open it up. So right here, DHCP, and this is a discover request that it sent. And the server replied to it, but guess what happened? It replied to it with the same IP address that it was assigned to it before, 192.168.170.11, because DHCP kept track of that IP address that was assigned to that MAC address. Now, what happens when there is a DHCP renew, right? Well, we're going to get assigned the same IP address, or when the lease is about to expire. When the lease is about to expire, the DHCP client sends a request, not a discovery, sends a request out to the network asking the DHCP server to keep or assign the same IP address that it has. And that way, this network is going to be more effective.